Do you ever feel like manifestation is just another thing on your to-do list that you don't have time for? Like your spiritual practice is something that you have to do? Honestly, you're not alone because I felt that way too. Something that's really changed my relationship with manifestation is blending it into my lifestyle so that no matter what I'm doing, I'm also manifesting. I call this manifestation as a lifestyle, and it's single handedly made the entire manifestation journey more enjoyable for me. And I've seen my desires show up with a lot more ease. Manifesting as a lifestyle has made manifestation go from feeling like a task to something I just naturally do because it's who I am. If you'd like to learn more about this, I've created a step by step guide for you. I'll link it in my show notes so you can check it out.
Hi everyone, my name is Pyle Agrawal and I want to welcome you to the Affirmation Addict podcast. Affirmations have changed my life and now it is my mission to help you use them to change yours by using affirmations every day to manifest things your way. My goal is to make affirmations attainable and accessible to every single person, including you, because you have the ability to take control and create your reality. So come with me on my journey and let's see what we can manifest together. Good morning, everybody, and happy Thursday. I hope you guys are having an awesome day so far. But today I had a couple of really exciting things I really wanted to talk to you guys about. And the first thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was the 24-hour challenge I did. It was kind of on a whim, so that's why some of you might not have heard about it right away. But essentially, I was inspired to host a little challenge because I was doing it for myself. So I was like, I'll share it with you guys. And for anyone who can join, I hope it went well for you. So the basis of the challenge was for 24 hours not to say anything negative and not to think negative, not to speak negatively, and not to have negative self-talk. And the inspiration behind this challenge was essentially making positive thinking affirmations and just a more like up-leveled version of living a lifestyle. And so that's why I really wanted all of you guys to participate in this challenge, but also just try it out because it's 24 hours and that awareness brings so much clarity and it really kind of hits home when you're like, oh my gosh, I'm really talking so negatively. So I wanted to tell you guys about my experience. And it was actually really funny. Me and Tom did it together and we both technically quote unquote failed within probably the first few hours, and it was because we were at the gym. And gym, I think, and working out and fitness kind of brings up a lot of negative self-talk because body image and self-confidence, a lot of it is in how we look, and that's okay. Like, you're not going to always be, wow, I'm the most beautiful person ever, although I wish every single person could feel that way. Based off of society's standards and the way everything is wired, that's not always the easiest feeling to just naturally come up with. And I noticed I was wearing a tank top and I'm a little conscious of my arms, and I was like, wow, I look so wide today. And Tom was like, are you kidding? You just failed. And I was like, oh, dang it. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to reaffirm and I'm going to say, I love my body. I looked in the mirror. I looked myself straight in the gym mirror and I was like, I love my body and I love myself because I'm working towards my dream body. You know, like I basically tried reaffirming and counteracting that negative thought I felt. But the really cool thing was it helped me understand how easily negative self-talk and negative thoughts come into your mind. And that's okay. I wasn't upset with myself. It was more so an awareness and acknowledgement I got. And to me, that was really helpful and it really opened my eyes. And the funny thing is just a couple minutes later, like Tom, he always tries to get more reps and everything and be stronger. And he was frustrated because he wasn't lifting as heavy as he wanted that day. So he was like, dang, I suck. And I was like, don't say that. So it was funny because at the gym, it was kind of like our trick. Both of us were struggling at the gym. And so I thought it was funny. But it really helped both of us because we were like, okay, let's switch that around and be appreciative that we're even at the gym working out. And so that 24-hour challenge, just in those few hours, I think taught me a lot and made me more aware. But I kept going and I did make a super conscious effort for those 24 hours to be more positive. And I noticed myself like getting a little down. But I think the helpful thing is, once again, is when you notice yourself getting down or sad about smaller things, you're aware of it, and it almost in your head, you're like, this is so not necessary. So you're making a conscious effort not to choose to be affected by that negative situation. You acknowledge it and you move past it. And for me, after those 24 hours, I literally felt like I was buzzing. Like I was so happy, so energetic, even though like I had negative things come up, but just the conscious choice to, do I want to think negatively in this situation or do I want to think positively? Like realizing and practicing that I have that choice was so cool. And like it just felt amazing because I felt like I was in control. And it's really nice when you're in control, not only because I like being controlling, but I think as humans, we choose and want to be in control and we want to know what's happening. It's really hard to just like let it be. And when you're in control of your own emotions, that's really, really tackling something big. And so that's why those 24 hours for me were so impactful. And I literally felt like I wanted to burst with like love, like for myself, but also other people. And it was awesome. And it was really cool because I posted on my Instagram and my Facebook, my new Facebook group where I will be going live every single day. So I posted on both of those groups and got such good feedback. And I was so happy because it helped you guys. And I think that's all I needed. And that's all I wanted you guys to know is it's okay if you're not perfect. It's okay if you have a negative thought. But when you make that conscious choice, you feel so much more empowered to prevent that from happening again. And that's kind of how it becomes a lifestyle, is really being picky with what you want to think. You can either pick to gossip and think negatively and talk badly about yourself and others and just complain, or you can consciously pick to, okay, I'm not feeling too hot today, acknowledge it, but you don't have to focus on that negativity. And you feel way more positive, you feel more open, you feel more light and loving and free. And that was the response I got. I got so many DMs and so many question responses basically saying, how can I do this every day? And the answer is you can. Like you don't need me to teach you how to make a choice over your thoughts. That's all you. And I think the coolest thing about this challenge is how empowering it is and how much it shows you as an individual and me as an individual that we do have the power to create our life and make those choices and pick if we want to have a good day or a bad day, or if we want to make a really crappy situation ruin the rest of our day, or make our day you really appreciate other things happening in your day. And that's why sometimes problems are okay. And I think a big thing that people don't realize is your life is not always going to be rainbows and butterflies. Like different things are going to happen and different situations are going to happen, but all that really matters is your perspective and how you're reacting to that situation. You can't necessarily expect that everything is going to be beautiful in the world because you're not the only person living here. Everybody's actions impact everybody else. Like you are impacted by your family members, your spouse or your partner and your friends. Like it's not just you. Yeah, if I went in solitude and lived in a mountain alone, I'm sure I could create my life exactly how I wanted. But that's not the case. Like we're all living normal daily lives and we're all living with other people. We're all around other people and other energies. And that's why it's okay when different things happen to you and to those people, because there's so many factors into play. Law of attraction does not work on its own. It's a huge guiding principle, but it's not on your own. So if you do have a problem or a negative thought, don't just be like, well, I'm a negative person, this is why it's happening to me. Like you can't really take it completely literally and realistically. You have to be aware that there's so much more working, and the only thing you can really control is your own emotion and your own thoughts. And that's where that spiral effect of either positivity or negativity comes into play. So going back to that 24-hour challenge, what the biggest takeaway that I had was the ability to choose my own thoughts. And if I do have a negative thought, the ability to counteract it with a realization or a little thing of gratitude or a little bit of appreciation for the fact that I am trying. It's kind of like there's always a way to be negative, but there's also always a way to be positive, even in the worst situations. And I'm not saying that in terms of please take it literally and always say happy things, even if someone is going through a really bad time. But there's a time and a place, and use your judgment and see how you can be appreciative or be aware of this situation that's happening to you. And for example, going back to the problems, like if you think about it, how many of us would be where we are without every single thing that we went through? We need to realize that like our problems and the hard times, that's what brings us appreciation for the really, really good times. Because if you had nothing to compare the good times to, those would just be mediocre times. And I think that's something a lot of us forget is bad times, stressful times, all of that is okay and so natural. And those are lessons. It's not all going to be rainbows and butterflies, because how are we going to be appreciative if we have nothing to compare it to? Or if there was a lesson we needed to learn through that tough or difficult situation. And that's why even with this 24-hour challenge, if you have a negative thought, just be like, okay, I acknowledge you, but don't let it affect you. Let it teach you a lesson. Let it make you more aware of, wow, I really do think negatively sometimes, or I get easily influenced sometimes, and I need to change that. It brings you awareness. You don't have to take each situation and let that negative situation identify you. You can learn from it and move past it and let that negative situation grow and empower you to be better. And that's the biggest thing I really, really learned is we have that powerful choice, and that's the one really, really big practical gift each and every one of us has, but I don't think we all use that often, is the choice of choosing what we want to think and how we want to feel. And I think that goes for everything. For example, you could be in a relationship, you could be in a job, you could be at home cooking and your kids are bothering you. You could be doing anything, and something frustrates you or something's not going your way, but it's really in the end your choice on how you want to react to that situation. And that's something I'm really, really working hard on. And I deal with that a lot with my relationship, not because of me and Tom. I think we're great. Like, I think we have a wonderful relationship, but more so the situations that we're put through because he's in the military still. And for example, last minute, they'll be like, hey, you're leaving for 2 weeks for a training. And it's like, what the heck? We had so many plans. And to me, I tend to get overwhelmed or frustrated a little more easily than most people. And so then I freak out. But then Tom was like, okay, well, why don't you just enjoy the day me and you have together right now rather than being sad all day and then I'm gone for 2 weeks and then all you're going to think about how on the last day was how sad you were. And that's something that he has brought an awesome perspective into. It's like different situations are going to come up that are unexpected or not desirable, but it's either you dwell on it or you move through it and find the good in it. For example, Tom will be deploying, and I personally feel so much stronger and better because when he told me, I didn't cry my eyes out forever. Now I have, now that it's sinking in, I've cried a couple times when I get a little sad. But that's because he's leaving. But it's also being aware, okay, we'll be able to communicate. He's going to be somewhere where he'll have Wi-Fi. For the last time he deployed, we barely talked, and that was the hardest thing ever. But this time he'll be in a different location. He'll have a lot more free time. He'll have time to call me. He'll be able to actually FaceTime me. We weren't even able to FaceTime the last time he was deployed, and that was 4 months without seeing his face, and it was just so difficult. And we FaceTime or talk every single day. That's just the type of relationship we have. And so even for this deployment, my thing is, okay, this is his last deployment. He's getting out of the military and we'll be able to FaceTime. And this is both of our times to build our businesses and work towards it and just really conquer our relationship. Because if we can get through this, we can get through anything. And I'm sure so many of you are handed over situations like this where it's a really crappy situation when you look at it at the surface level, but there's either so many worse situations that other people are going through or that you could be going through. And it's like, do you want to either think of this negatively and be negative for the next 6 months? Or you want to be positive? And yeah, it's okay to be sad. Like, of course, it's natural to be sad about a bad situation, but you accept it and you try and make the best of it, because in the end, this is what Tom says, life is too short to be living every single day sad and worried and dwelling on it. And so cliche, but it's really true. And that's the biggest thing he's taught me, and this relationship has taught me, is being able to choose how you're feeling no matter what situation you're handed, because life and things are unexpected, because there's so many other factors that every single human is dealing with. It's not just me in the mountains. It is me and you and your best friend and society and the world. Like, there's so much that all of us are dealing with, because we're all so connected these days through technology. And so that's why it's super, super important for you to be able to be aware and controlling of your thoughts and emotions. And it's such an easy thing to say, and I totally understand it's hard to do, but even just starting out, you will be so much more aware of the types of thoughts you frequently think. Then you can dive deeper and say, okay, these actions or these situations are what trigger me to think negatively. And these actions and situations are what trigger me to think positively and feel happy. So if you're feeling negative and sad, you'll think about the things that make you happy and you'll go do those things. Like, you'll be really aware of how to flip your energy and how to feel better in a certain situation. And that's really what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Was I feel like that 24-hour challenge happened on such a whim of just being positive and staying positive, but it taught me so much. And I really, really want to expand on it and make it a bigger challenge, do kind of some sort of giveaway with it. I have these beautiful handmade notebooks from India that are coming in, and I really want to do something with that because I'm going to start selling those. And so I really want to integrate this 24-hour challenge thing to be a bigger and bigger challenge, because every single person can do it starting at any single moment. Like, it's the power of your mind, and you're choosing to take on this challenge, and that's it. And I think that's the most amazing thing about it. You don't need any other tools. You don't need anything. It's just you, yourself, and your mind. And so that is really my goal for this challenge. I want to make it bigger. I want to spread more awareness about it. And for those of you who did participate, I want to say thank you for just joining me, and thank you for sharing your feedback. But also, if you haven't tried it or you're listening to this podcast, feel free to start it right this second. Just tell yourself, okay, next 24 hours, my choice is to be positive, think positively, and think positively about myself and others, and speak positively about myself and others. And just see what you notice. It's such a beautiful experience, because it seems so simple. Like, I'm just a girl telling you to be positive, and if you really make that commitment to yourself, it's like a little magic door opening. It's awesome. And so I really, really encourage you to do it. Even if you've done it before, I might try it today, because we have a lot of stuff coming up. We have a cruise coming up. Me and Tom are going on a pre-deployment cruise just to celebrate and go on a little vacation before he leaves. And we're going to go home, see our families, which will be really fun. So we have a lot of stuff coming up. So maybe this is my commitment to you right now over this podcast. It is currently 9 a.m. on Thursday. So I will be committing to this positivity challenge for 24 hours for myself, for others, and for all of you guys. And I hope you guys join me too after listening to this podcast. And that is all I wanted to talk to you guys about the 24-hour podcast. But if you're still listening, I just have some updates for you. So I've been working a lot towards creating more content for you guys. And something a lot of you guys have asked me about is vision boards. And so I made a podcast about it. It should be the previous episode. And I also have a YouTube video. And so the YouTube video really shows you what my vision board looked like and how kind of the process I went through to make that vision board, and what I did and how I used that vision board to manifest those dreams. But another thing I'm going to plan on doing today is actually creating my new vision board for this new journey and chapter that I am on now. Now that Affirmation Addict is my full attention, has my full energy, and is kind of my dream right now. So I'm planning on making a nice video for you guys showing you what's on that vision board. And I've gotten a lot of questions about do's and don'ts when making a vision board. So I'll talk about those as I'm making my own vision board with you guys. So I thought that would be really fun. And another thing, my biggest update that I've started is I've been going live on my Facebook group, which is a new group where you're able to get with me live and connect with other people who are in the same situation, ask each other questions, just interact with each other and interact with me. And the best thing about the Facebook group is that those live videos never disappear. So in those live videos, I say a daily affirmation and I talk about it, do a little bit of Q&A. And so if you ever miss a live video on Instagram because those expire after 24 hours, they are always in the Facebook group. So if you want to join the Facebook group, the link will be attached in the podcast episode notes, but it's also on my Instagram, really easy to find. And the group is called Affirmation Addicts. So if you are an affirmation addict like me, this group is totally for you, and I think it would be really fun. And I'm excited to do some different things, try some new things with the group, because I appreciate you guys for committing to me and joining my group. So I want to do something special for you guys. And after our vacation, I am going to post a lot of new challenges, have a lot of free content for you guys to download, and just keep going. And I'm so excited. Just keep producing, keep creating, and keep inspiring. And I want to thank each and every one of you guys who continues to message me and practice some of my affirmations and tune in and just chat with me. Like, it makes me so happy. And each and every single one of you brightens up my day. So I really wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to anybody, any of you who engage with me in some sort of way. Seriously, it just means the world. And if it does impact you, feel free to share it with your friends, your family, your mom, like anything that you can do to help someone else is kind of just the best thing you can do, because paying it forward and giving is what gives each and every one of us as human beings the biggest satisfaction. So if any of my stuff can help someone you know, feel free to share it. You can send them over to me. They can directly message me if they need something specific. But anything you can do to pay it forward and anything I can do to pay it forward, that's the biggest intention that all of us have. So just a little inspiring little spread the love and pay it forward kind of note for you guys. But that's all I have for you guys today. And I just wanted to say thank you again for spending some time with me. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. And if you're embarking on this 24-hour challenge, let me know how it goes. Please send me a message on my Instagram, post about it or anything. I really want to know what you learned and how it went for you guys. So I'll be talking to you guys soon. Have a happy, happy, happy Thursday. And I love each and every single one of you. Mwah. Bye, you guys. That's all I have for you guys, and I just want to say thank you again for spending some time with me. I really hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, head over to my social media. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, or go to my website if you want to subscribe to my email list, which is affirmation-addict.com. I cannot wait to hear from you guys, and I will talk to you guys super soon. Have a good one, you guys. Bye!